Hello and welcome to the English period. My name is Roshan Rangdivala. I'm your beloved English teacher. Today, we are going to explore a very important grammar topic, that is reflexive pronouns. This lesson will be valuable for grade 8 students, 9, 10, even students in grade 11 as well. Because by end of this video, you will understand exactly what reflexive pronouns are, how to use them correctly, and most importantly, how to identify the two different ways they are used in sentences. Okay, let's begin. So, children, what are reflexive pronouns? Let me explain. A reflexive pronoun is a special type of pronoun that refers back to the subject of the sentence. Okay, now you might wonder what is the subject of a sentence? That is, the person or the thing who does the action. The person or the thing who does the action. The performer of the action. If not, we can say the doer of the sentence. Now, a reflexive pronoun, as I said, is a special type of pronoun that refers back to the subject of the sentence. Let's check what that is. But before we move on, let's see. Now look at these reflexive pronouns. There are 8 in English language. You can see these words end in self when they are singular. Look at the singular subjects. I, you, he, she, and it. If it is I, it's myself, you, yourself, he, himself, she, herself, it, itself. When they are plural, they end with selves. We, ourselves, you, yourselves, they, themselves. Clear? Okay. Let's see what are the two uses. Okay. This is where things will get really interesting. Reflexive pronouns are used in two different ways in English. Now, understanding these two uses is extremely important. Okay, so pay attention. If you want to take down notes, pause the video, take down notes. Right, I'll explain the first use. That is as an object. In this case, what happens? The reflexive pronoun comes immediately after a verb or after a preposition. Right? And there's a very important thing that you need to understand. That is, when we use a reflexive pronoun as an object, you cannot remove it from the sentence. In case if you remove it accidentally, what happens? The sentence becomes incomplete or loses its meaning. Okay? Let's check the second use. That is for emphasis. This means the reflexive pronoun is used to stress who exactly performed the action. Then there's an important difference between the first use and the second use. That is, when we use a reflexive pronoun for emphasis, we can remove it from the sentence and the sentence will still make complete grammatical sense. Don't worry, children. If this seems a bit confusing right now, don't worry. We are going to look at each use in detail with plenty of examples. Okay, let's start with the used one, the first use. All right, as an object. When the subject and the object of a sentence refer to the same person or the same thing, that is where we use a reflexive pronoun as the object. Let me explain with a couple of examples. Look at the very first one. I accidentally cut myself whilst cooking. I accidentally cut myself whilst cooking. Let's break this down. What is the action here? Cut. Who does this action? I. That means I is the subject. Who got cut? Again, it's I, the same person. So now can you see? Because the subject and the object are the same person. That is why we use a reflexive pronoun myself as the object. And one important thing, notice where myself appears. Where can you see that? Immediately after the action word cut. Clear? Let's check the second example. She was talking to herself during the examination. What is the action here? Talking. Who was talking? She. That's a subject. Who was she talking to? Herself. The same person. Notice where you see the reflexive pronoun in this sentence. Where can you see that? Right after the preposition to. Clear? So now, remember, children, if you use a reflexive pronoun as an object, you will see the reflexive pronoun right after a verb or a preposition. Okay, now we'll do a couple of more examples, but let's take them from the textbook itself. Right, let's check the first one. Why don't you sit down and make yourselves comfortable so that we can start our discussion straight away? Let's analyze this. In this sentence, you can see the subject is you and it's plural. That means more than one person. The reflexive pronoun is yourselves. That is also plural. But where can you see the reflexive pronoun? Where does it appear? Right after the verb make. You make yourselves comfortable. The action of making comfortable reflects back to you, the same set of people. Clear? Let's check the second example. Right. I'm sure we can make the English camp a success and be proud of ourselves. I'm sure we can make the English camp a success and be proud of ourselves. In this sentence, the subject is we. The reflexive pronoun is ourselves. Look at the position. Where can you see the reflexive pronoun? Right after the preposition of. Be proud of ourselves. Now, children, can you see the pattern? In both the examples, we noticed the reflexive pronoun refers back to the subject of the sentence. And in the first example, the reflexive pronoun came after the verb. In the second example, reflexive pronoun came after the preposition. Okay. Now let's move on to the second use. Let's see the emphatic use of reflexive pronouns. Okay. Emphatic use, right? A reflexive pronoun can emphasize a noun or a pronoun to show that a particular person or thing, no one else, performed the action. This is what is called the emphatic use. Right? Now, children, here's a useful tip for you to identify what the use is. That is, simply by removing the reflexive pronoun from the sentence. If after the removal of the reflexive pronoun, if the sentence still makes complete grammatical sense, then that is the emphatic use. But after the removal, if the sentence breaks, that means we have used the reflexive pronoun as an object. Let me show you this with an example. Look at this sentence. The head prefect herself welcomed the visitors. The head prefect herself welcomed the visitors. Now, why do we use herself here? That is to emphasize that the head prefect did it personally, not a junior prefect, not the deputy head prefect, not a teacher, not the section head, not anyone else, but the head prefect herself. Now let's apply the test. Let's remove the reflexive pronoun and see what we would get. What do we get? The head prefect welcomed the visitors. The head prefect welcomes the visitors. Children, does this sentence still make sense? Yes, of course. Absolutely. The sentence is grammatically complete. But what has happened? The sentence has lost the emphasis. That's it. So this is how you know whether it's emphatic use or not. Clear? Let's check a couple of more textbook examples. All right. Look at the first example sentence. Our art teacher himself designed the invitation for the chief guest. Why is himself used here, children? That is to emphasize that the art teacher personally designed the invitation. Not a student, not any other teacher, not an assistant, but the teacher himself. Now let's apply the test. Let's remove the reflexive pronoun and see what would happen. What would we get? Our art teacher designed the invitation for the chief guest. Does it make sense? Yes, the sentence is complete. Therefore, this is the emphatic use. We have used the reflexive pronoun for emphasis. Clear? Let's take the second example. Our English teacher said that she herself would prepare them. Our English teacher said that she herself would prepare them. Now here, herself emphasizes that the English teacher will do it personally. She will not going to ask from anyone else. She will do it herself. Clear? And again, children, if we remove herself, what would happen? We get a different sentence. Our teacher, our English teacher said that she would prepare them. Still, the sentence is grammatically correct, but we have just lost the emphasis. That's it. Clear? All right. Now, let's put these two uses side by side and we'll do a little comparison. Let's do that. This comparison table is very important. And children, I believe you take down notes. Right. Let me explain this comparison table. Right. Now, let's talk about the position. If the reflexive pronoun is there as the object of the sentence, you would see that. You would see the reflexive pronoun immediately after a verb or a preposition. And children, if the reflexive pronoun is there in the sentence for emphasis, you would see the reflexive pronoun immediately after the noun that emphasizes. Clear? And in terms of removal, if it is as an object, you cannot remove it. If it is there for emphasis, of course you can remove it. Let's verify what we just discussed. Look at the first example. She hurt herself. Just remove the reflexive pronoun herself. What do we get? She hurt. She hurt. That's incomplete. Hurt who? No idea. Yes? So that is where the reason is why we have used reflexive pronoun as the object. Look at the second example sentence. She herself admitted the mistake. Remove the reflexive pronoun herself. What do you get? She admitted the mistake, which makes perfectly sensible. Clear? Okay. Now it's the time to put your knowledge test. We'll do a quick test. Okay, children. Now I'm going to show you two sentences. For each one, I want you to identify which use of the reflexive pronoun it is. Ready? Okay. Look at the first sentence. The team captain himself scored the winning goal. The team captain himself scored the winning goal. Now think about it. Which use is this? Apply the test which I taught you earlier. Try removing the reflexive pronoun himself. What do you get after the removal? The team captain scored the winning goal. The team captain scored the winning goal. What's the answer? This is for emphatic use, isn't it? Let's check the answer. Yes, correct. Now, let me explain. In this sentence, children, you can see himself emphasizes that the captain personally scored the goal, not any other player. And when we, after the test, after the removal of the reflexive pronoun, we got to know that the sentence still remained complete. It did not do any harm. Clear? Right. Now let's try the second one. The cat is cleaning itself in the garden. The cat is cleaning itself in the garden. Do the same thing. Think about it, apply the test, remove the reflexive pronoun and see what you get. Ready? Let's do it. After the removal of the reflexive pronoun, you get the cat is cleaning in the garden. Cleaning what? Do you have an answer for that? No. That means the sentence now feels incomplete, isn't it? So what is the use? This is as an object. Let's check the answer. Correct. As an object. In this sentence, itself is the object of the verb cleaning. The cat is cleaning itself. The action reflects back to the cat. And when we removed it, what happens? The sentence lost its meaning. Okay. Excellent work. I really believe that you are really getting the hang of this. But wait, let's wrap this up with a quick summary. Okay, children, this is a quick review what we just learned today. Look at the point one. Reflexive pronouns end in self when they are singular. They end in selves when they are plural. Second point. Use as an object. The reflexive pronoun appears after a verb or a preposition and you cannot remove it. Point number three. For emphasis, the reflexive pronoun stresses who performed the action and you can remove it. The last point is the quick test. Remove the reflexive pronoun and see if the sentence breaks. That means the reflexive pronoun was there as the object. If the sentence still works, that means the reflexive pronoun was there for emphatic use. Okay, so that's it, children. So now you have mastered reflexive pronouns. I'm really happy. And dear children, if you found this lesson helpful, interesting, valuable, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And please don't forget to subscribe to this channel because there'll be lots of English lessons will be coming up soon. And if you have any questions, any doubts, drop them in the comment section. I would happy to help you out. Well, finally, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next lesson.